Howdy folks, Jonathan, your GM here. You're listening to Demon Dayz, an actual play podcast with a focus on fiends and the friends who play them. First, I want to give a shout out to our sponsor ArcKnight, whose props, maps, and minis make our game a delight. That's ARCKNIGHT. Also want to give a shout out to Gordon McAlpin, who did the artwork for our show, as well as KiloWhat, who created some absolutely amazing portraits of our horny heroes. You can find her work over on Twitter at KiloWhat_art and on Instagram at thebibliotaph.blog. I'll make sure to put all the links in the show notes so you can look at all the great art. Next, I just wanted to give a heads up that we're taking the rest of the year off to celebrate the holidays with our families and to basically prepare for the next round of episodes. I'm really excited to bring in the next phase of our show and all the story stuff that entails. And that does take a little bit of preparation. So in the meantime, I just want to thank you all very much for sticking with us this far, for listening to all the episodes, for sharing our posts, for rating, reviewing us. All that stuff helps. And we love sharing our story with you this way. So thank you very much. And again, want to give a shout out to the players at the table. They're killing it. And it's fun to take them on this journey. Anyways, I've babbled long enough. Let's get to the episode and have a happy holidays.
Friends, fiends, gather round and pass me those 6 ales over there. Hurry up, there isn't much time now. At our last meeting, I told you all about the strange audio capsules our heroes discovered and the terrible secrets they uncovered. Well, turns out there's more where that came from. So brace yourselves as I tell you the next exciting chapter of these Demon Dayz.
All right, as you start to roll it, you hear before you start to reach towards the button, and before you do, you hear the crackle and a voice that just drops your stomach cold.
Engineer's log. Yarville, daughter of Zephan.
God damn it.
Of sound mind and faculty. We have gained entry into the Tower of All and have reclaimed it for the glory of the Nine. I have been tasked to prepare this place for a grand experiment that will change the course of history, and possibly gain us enough favor to overthrow the Prince of the Iron City. Not entirely sure what this experiment entails, just that I need to turn this clockwork shit show into some kind of supercharged trammel. Big fucking task that. Still, I'm honored that my father would come to me first out of my sisters for this responsibility. Let's see fucking Igni try to pull this shit off.
And the cartridge ends.
I grab all of the other cartridges.
All right. You just play them in succession?
No, I grab all of the other cartridges.
Okay.
And put them in and hide them and try to secret them away in my person.
Okay.
Fetter, what's happening?
And then, like, when I have them all, I just collapse into, like, a pile on the floor.
Okay. So you've grabbed onto all the cartridges and you're trying to just stuff them in a bag, and you've just fallen to the floor. So you guys are seeing this. He's not very subtle.
As it's happening, I'm literally like the little duckling following behind him, being like, "What's going on? What's happening, Fetter?"
Fetter.
I just kneel down in front of him.
This isn't going to be good, guys.
It's already not good,
None
but
of
the
this
damage
is
is
good.
done. Play him. Let's find out what we're up against.
Okay, I don't know how bad this is going to get, gang, but I need you to know that...
Did you do it?
No.
It doesn't matter then.
It's not you, it's your uncle?
No, Yarville's my aunt. And they're all sisters.
I don't know if there's like a random uncle.
Oh, the random uncle, yeah.
Yarville, that's quite a doodly name. I don't know how things work in Dis.
Fetter, you know me. I'm gonna have your back.
So it breaks my heart to hear Yarville's voice like this. She was always kind of kept on her own floor of the tower, and something's, as long as I've known her, just not been right. She keeps to herself, agitates easily. Taslin, much like what just happened with you. But whenever I was around, she was calm. Not very communicative, but I could play music or sing and tell her stories, and she'd smile and listen and be calm. And all we knew, all I was ever told, is that she did something to anger my grandfather, and that was the result, or her punishment, or some combination. Some of the sisters said she was in the tower for her own good. I don't know, but I am terrified.
So
But it sounds like he put her up
what's
to it.
Gonna be on these tapes.
But let's listen. The truth, knowing the truth is helpful.
Rarely.
It sounds like he put her up to it. It might help her.
Okay.
If
Fine.
you don't want to, we won't. I'll back you. I've got
No, it's you. Listen, me here by myself. I take these cylinders, I take them home, I forget most of this ever happened, and I try to maintain whatever semblance of a family life I have. But you all are here, we're all in this together, and you deserve to know whatever's on these, so...
What if it is connected to what happened to us, though? What if we do listen,
That's
maybe
why
your family can help us?
Maybe. All right, then, well, let's hear it then.
All
and
right.
then we'll play through the...
Yeah, you go through each cartridge, and I'll just read them off one after the other as you hear them. Next tape, you hear the static.
Engineer's log, Yarville, daughter of... you get the idea. This is so fucking stupid. I don't even know why I'm doing this. It's not like I have to talk into this thing. I pass along my updates and research to Father via my journal. Maybe it's the novelty of this device that has bewitched me. I think I played back my first entry 12 times. Do I really fucking sound like that? It's me. I found a strange room today, and I'm not entirely sure what to make of it. Place is completely dark. Can't see the walls or anything. At one end of the room is a pedestal of some kind, and on top of it sits a white, glowing orb. Yeah, it's the only thing around. I tried to walk around to see if there might have been a light source somewhere, and I shit you not, I couldn't find the walls. I walked for 10 minutes in every direction, and the orb thing stayed where it was, relative to me, as did the lift. What the ever-loving fuck? So, I grabbed the white glowing ball, and I saw my daughters. They were eating food and having a good time. I felt like I was there. Was this some kind of scrying device? And why did it go to my daughters? Didn't get to dwell on it too much before the damn thing kicked me back to reality. Maybe I'll leave this room alone. Well, I didn't leave that room alone. Again, I saw my daughters, and they were journeying through the markets in Dis. I got a theory about this thing, and it's showing me here and now what's important to me. I mean, I do miss my daughter something fierce. Perhaps the thing knows. I really need to leave this room and get back to work. Went back to see how my daughters were doing. I know, I can't help it. Saw that one of my daughters was smooching a girl, while another was beating the shit out of a goblin. One was reading a book and the youngest was doing naked handstands. I really need to focus on my work. Fuck. I miss my daughters. I miss being in their minds, seeing their wonderful creations. They think up the most beautiful things. Castles, pyramids, ziggurats. They make vast worlds for me, and I can just walk through them, all without leaving the room. I miss their warmth most of all. Work on retrofitting this strange tower is going smoothly. Every day, dozens of new cultists arrive and lend their aid, as do tons of willing bodies. We're making great time, and the special device on the roof is coming along nicely. According to my father, it's a Modron collaboration, although that doesn't make a whole lot of fucking sense, unless he actually found those disappeared sons of bitches. Oh well, my task is not to ask, but to get it done. There's a mage snooping around this place. She looks powerful. She looks beautiful. I should probably let Father know what's going on. Not sure if these, Modron protections can hold against her magic. Fuck, wish Tiamat and Igni were here. They'd take care of these distractions with no trouble at all. Fucking Tiamat would probably take her out to dinner before killing her. They don't talk to me much. Happened to cross an Eladrin out in the wild. Just doing a walkabout of the tower, and she seemed a bit lost. Said her name was Illithin, and that she was looking for her sisters. When I asked her who they might be or where they might be found, she couldn't tell me. She just said that she appeared here and missed them. So we got to talking, and I took her back for some study. Finally, the time is nigh. All the bodies have been hooked up to the grid. The altar has been built, and my work here is done. I'm excited to return to my family and reap the benefits of our labor. If the Dark Father truly is the one behind this, then he'll look down on us with favor, and perhaps we can be free of this fucking Iron Prince once and for all. Maybe we can get a better station in life, and maybe Father can finally just live better. I can't wait to see everyone.
And that's the last entry
She doesn't have any kids, right?
that you know of.
I don't...
Do an investigation check.
Okay.
Or perception. In your case, actually, Feder,
Yeah?
you have such a high number anyways. You look under the leg of the table, you see a piece of paper.
Mm-hmm.
And on it, it's just drawn, very crude in the similar way that Lisa found, a picture of her and her 4 daughters, Toril, Maris, Kina, and Pinau. And this, to understate it all to hell, blows your fucking mind.
Oh, yeah.
No one has spoken about anything like this whatsoever. And this appears to be 100 or so years ago.
Yeah.
This is before your time.
Mm-hmm.
So wheels are starting to turn. The lack of contact is starting to make some sense. But what the fuck?
I don't know who these 4 people are. They've never been spoken of. Yarvel's been kept at the tower my entire life. Barely able to communicate. I need to find that orb. I need to find that orb.
Have you ever seen her?
Yarvel? Yes. I mean, she's gaunt. She's older, but I don't know. She's got wear on her. Hunched, gray skin, kind of varicose veins. But I don't know. When I was around, she would calm. Didn't spend much time there as a child. It frankly kind of creeped me out, but Mother said it was a boon to her, so I would go and sit with her. But she never spoke of family. She never spoke of daughters. The family's big enough as it is, quite frankly, but
Is your mom one of the sisters she spoke fondly of?
Yes. Yes.
She the naked handstand one?
No,
No,
those were the daughters.
Those were her daughters. Those were my cousins.
There was Tiamat, and then who was the other sister?
Oh.
Enigni.
Which one's your mom?
No, my mother is Aphiel. She was kind of the wild one in the family. At some point when we're out of here, I'll sing you that song I've been humming. It'll explain a lot.
Who's the Dark Father and who's the Iron Prince she was talking about?
I mean, Yusuf, you know. Asmodeus is the Dark Father.
Okay, I know of him.
Yeah.
And then Dispater would be
the Iron Prince.
Dis.
The city of Dis.
It's his city.
Yeah. Each of the 9 hells has a ruler, as I kind of said.
And your family wants to be free of him?
I suppose. Augur, my grandfather, was loyal to Dispater for my entire short life. But I'm sure it comes with its weal and woe, prices to be paid. Sorry, I have a lot to think about.
I'm sorry, I don't mean to keep asking questions.
That's
just,
fine.
If I'm being honest, your aunt sounds like kind of a good time. And
well, I mean,
the
obviously,
cultists and the Eldrin showing up out of nowhere, little triggering, but overall she sounds fun.
Yeah.
And your cousins sound like fun too.
I guess I wouldn't know.
I'm sorry.
Family is hard.
Yeah, well. So, Asmodeus goes around Dispater, reaches out to Augur to build this goddamn calamity machine, and my family did it. So, we know what's on the next floor. Let's make sure we're not missing anything here, and maybe we can just skip that bit.
Well,
On the other hand,
technically only have 2 more floors left to go, right?
And what's on that?
6 and 5.
One of them has the orb and one of them is an altar with the machine on the roof. She already told us that.
Which could very well look like the machine we were attached to.
But it could not. And it doesn't mean that Fetter's family did this. It means that
No, not at all.
someone tried again.
With us, possibly.
Very different, though. There's only 4 of us, and there were only a handful of others in those cells.
Right, but if you're powering it with blood directly descended from the Lords of the Hells, it's a little bit different.
But,
that being said...
But that doesn't make sense. There were tiefling in the floor above us, and I'm not anyone.
Aren't
there's
you?
No. I'm a human who grew a tail.
A tail attached to the grand war maiden of all of Hell's armies.
Is that what you're calling my ass now?
Sure.
I mean... Yusuf kind of smirks a little bit. He's like, I mean, he's not...
Better will chuckle for the first time in a minute.
Wrong.
Aslan slaps it a little bit.
On the other hand, Fetter, that dark room with the orb, that might show your mother too.
Yeah, I know. That's why I need to get to it.
It's probably another scrying orb just like this crystal ball is. And if it's dark and a magical dark, I can see in it, unlike the rest of you.
Okay,
well, let's...
Can we take a quick once over this alchemy table before we leave? Just cover our
sure,
bases.
absolutely. Yeah.
And I want to, again, just now I want to use my properly perceive the room. Use my eye for detail and see if I can see anything. It says uncover or decipher clues and check for hidden creatures or objects on top of the usual business. And want to give me a hand? Yeah. Okay. Uh, 17.
You don't see a whole lot other than the things you've already found But you do get the sense that this place has been picked clean and cleaned out, apart from the cartridges. And you do notice, tucked away in a few different corners, a little potion bottle with an eyeball that bobs in its yellowish liquid, but vanishes when you get close to it.
It's not labeled like the rest of them?
No. You also see another potion. This one has a container that seems to hold fog that moves and pours like water. And another one just has a milky white substance inside it.
So milky white substance. And then what was the middle one?
Fog that moves and pours like water.
Yep. And then the last one is an eyeball and a yellowish liquid. But everything else is fairly picked clean. And you do notice that a few of the cartridges have either been smashed or broken down. But given that this is the first time you've ever seen a device like this, you get the sense that whoever picked this room clean realized that people would have to get in here to be able to do anything with the cartridges and just didn't bother with them. That's the vibe you're getting.
Right.
But anything else that might have been of value, wiped clean.
Mm-hmm. Now I'm taking the cartridges.
Okay.
Taz, gonna put these in the bag.
Yeah.
Okay.
And then I open the bag.
All right.
Then you put them in the bag.
I'm gonna look up at Scoil.
She's been staring at you for a little while, but more like just tilting her head, not entirely understanding, not having a lot of the context, but doing her best to catch up.
Scoil, I need you to promise me that what you heard in this room stays in this room, and I, when we have a moment, will draw you up a contract for whatever I can possibly give you.
She walks up to you, takes her hand out, cuts at it, and just places it on your shoulder, dampening it with blood. Yes, we'll work that out. But this is between you and me. I'll take it to my grave.
Okay.
I heart Scoil.
Mm-hmm. I mean, a bar of platinum is a lot of money.
But money gets spent.
I wasn't saying that.
I know. I know. I'm just saying.
If you had, she'd been like, well, I mean.
Money gets spent. This needs to be. Yeah. All right, well, shall we?
Well, you guys make your way back toward the center of the room, giving it just another once over as you walk by. Just the cleanliness of it is so weird, considering the last time you saw a lab was technically both the soup guy and then in the mountain. And both of those were just really unkept and very messy and ugh. And yeah, one of you guys reach out and push.
100% reach out and push the button.
You push the number 5 button, and as it has always been, this platform lifts you at great speed. This time you travel upward about 5 to 10 minutes before the lift slows and eventually arrives at the 5th floor of the tower. The first thing you notice, true to the cartridges, it's dark. Almost as oppressive as that passage back in the mountain of Grease Norvald. The only contrast is a single shining orb floating inexplicably above a reflective pedestal. In the background, you hear the light hum instead of the usual clicking and whirring of gears that you heard in the previous floors. But other than that, all around you, it's just dark.
Lisa?
I can, really quick, I can see through like a magical darkness. Is there stuff, like, is there other stuff in the room or is it just empty?
You look through and you see nothing else. You see no walls either. The floor just goes and goes.
It's like a whole other just pocket dimension almost.
Yep.
Okay.
I'm going to use that orb.
Yes.
I'll walk up to it, and I'm still going to check for traps just because
Sure.
I'm not an idiot.
I'm going to use the orb after you.
I was going to say, I think we should all use it.
17.
17. You scour the pedestal. You look for any mechanisms anything in between where it's floating to see if there would be something like a trigger. Nothing. You kind of move your hand briefly in there, and the orb bobs a little but doesn't really do anything, and there are no traps.
Okay, I'm going to try to put a hand on it to settle it and look inside of it.
Yeah, you place your hand on the orb, and it feels icy cold to the touch, but not painful.
And there's 2 things I'm looking for.
Yeah.
I'm sure you know. It's Mom and Dad. So
Immediately in the far distance of the dark, you see a speck of light, and it's just you, Feder, that sees this, that expands slowly at first and then rushes at you at great speed. You flinch as your vision goes all white. Those of you around Feder, you notice that his eyes have gone milky white.
Welcome to the party.
The white clears, Feder, and you find yourself soaring through a tumultuous and stormy sky. In the distance, you see a shape appear, and as you fly closer, you realize with confusion that it's a galleon, a seafaring vessel. Soon you're right up on it, and you can see that it's fighting the storm as if it were fighting the waves. Crew scurry back and forth, pulling at the ropes, securing the lines, and doing what they can to stay upright. You hear a loud droning sound, and in your circling of this flying vessel, you see bright gems affixed to the underside of the boat, glowing bright and vibrating the air with some kind of force. You come around to the helm and see a large humanoid figure that resembles a hippo. He barks orders in a deep voice, and you look to see who he's bossing around, and for the second time your heart stops. You recognize the olive-skinned man with curly black hair, although now it has gray streaks in it. He grins, a winning and familiar grin, and leaps around the deck with flair, helping the rest of the crew weather the storm. They hit a particularly bad patch of turbulence, and one of the gems below the boat goes out. The ship lurches violently, and you see your father tie a rope around his waist and leap overboard. He reaches the gem. There's a crack that has started to split the thing. Overhead lightning flashes, and the last thing you see is the complete and utter fucking lack of concern on Drago's face, as if this fucking banana pants shitstorm is just business as usual. And you're ejected from your vision and thrown back about 10 feet.
Your dad's a boss.
We didn't see any of that, just saying.
Yeah.
So I kind of off to the side when his eyes kind of glaze over and I see that. I go, is that as creepy?
Yes.
Yeah, every time.
Okay. Sorry.
And before you guys get too, ready to poke his face, he just shoots back from the thing, ejected from the air, about 10 feet. With an oomph.
Reflex to catch him?
Sure. Roll that dex.
14.
Yeah, you got him. It's good.
As soon as Yusuf catches me and I kind of right myself, I kind of shake my head and then I just run.
Right?
And I run right back to the orb and grab it again.
You put your hands on it and you feel nothing. No cold, and nothing happens.
And I just drop down at the pedestal on my knees.
Did you see her? Did you see your mom?
No.
What did you see?
Saw the old man. He's out pirating around, same as always. On a ship that I'm not sure I've seen before. It looks like a sky ship of some sort. Interesting.
What about your mom?
Nothing. I feel like this entire place has been built to torment me a little.
You couldn't see her?
No, just nothing.
I just kind of look at the ground.
Maybe you can only...
I look up. I walk over to the stone.
Uh-huh.
I want nothing more than to see Feder's mom, and I put my hand on it.
You put your hand on it, feel the cold, the icy cold. It doesn't hurt, though. And immediately your vision blasts white, and your eyes go milky white. Only you don't see Feder's mom. Instead, with a mighty rushing wind, your vision clears, and you see before you a Dagna Rus in flames. The wards which protected the gnomes from the Dominion Notice have fallen, and the land is flooded with soldiers bearing the banners, with a golden silhouette of a head in profile, wearing a floating crown of stars over a magenta background. You see gnomes being shackled and carried away, no doubt to become indentured within Skypoint or shipped off elsewhere. At one point you think you see Zephina, but not her simulacrum. Your view floats to where you last conversed with your mentor, the one who found you when you emerged from the Hells. The sight hits you fucking hard as bricks. Chesterfield lay dead, javelin protruding from his back. Standing over him, you see a tall, gaunt man in black, holding an obsidian staff with a black opal atop it. His face is gnarled and burnt, with one eye milky white. There is no hair on his face at all. Suddenly, he stiffens and turns his attention to you, as if he sees you. The milky eye widens, and you're pushed out of your vision 30 feet and back from the room.
Oh, no. Can I catch him?
Go ahead, this one's a pretty difficult one.
Yeah, but I have deflect missiles.
Technically, I am a missile right now.
I'm using it. That's still only a 7. I'm sorry.
Oh,
You go to try and catch him, and he knocks you aside as he flies back.
Oh no.
You hear in the
And now we
background.
have 2 missiles.
You hear in the background from Scoil. What the fuck?
I go to check on Yusuf.
You take no damage. You have no damage, but the breath has been knocked out of you.
You okay? In through the nose. Come on.
He gets up. He walks back up to the device. He's going to use Divine Sense again, specifically on the thing to see if it's like picking up anything, if there's like some type of trickery to it, or if it's evil, or what it is.
You don't sense anything trickery related, or it's not. There's no like trap or trick to it. It just seems to be a very high-powered scrying device, and it's registering as very neutral.
Yusuf, can you try touching it again? I want to see if the only reason Feder couldn't see is because it's like a once-a-day thing.
I think that's what it is. And I put my hand on it.
You feel nothing.
Okay.
There's no reaction.
Your mom's it's not that she's out of sight.
We can.
I tried looking for her.
It's.
I was shown something else.
If it is a scrying device and you touch it without practice or attunement or even knowing what you're doing, it's only going to show you what you most need to see.
Is it? Are you going to touch it?
Where did you need to go?
Sky Point.
I
And yes, I am going to touch it.
would, Taz, it might not be good, what you see there.
Crystals, they're not bad. They show you what you most need to see. If it's good, it's good. If it's bad, it's bad. It's really on you on how it is. And I don't even know what I need to see, but if I could even have a little bit of truth, a little bit of knowledge, that's why I still do what my mother did.
Okay. And I'm going to stand around behind you so that if you go flying off of this thing, that I'm going to try to support you.
I mean, you never know. Like, if you're not super, like, it's also, like, it could be, and this is me out of character, it could be, like, an actual link thing. So
right.
That could be why he was blown back even harder, because the person that he saw actually saw him back.
Right.
And there was, like, a energy thing, but you never know.
Yeah.
Well, you
I
guys
could
didn't
be-
see that, though.
Yeah. This is why I'm saying it out of character.
She mentioned that.
But I'm going to be there to steady you. And
I could become an even harder flying missile.
I'm going to be 10 feet back.
We're gonna like stagger it now.
Yeah. All right.
No, it's better to catch you on the downswing than the upswing.
Are you gonna do you want to touch it, Lisa?
I don't know. You can go first.
Okay.
I don't know.
I
go and stand back by Yusuf to help him catch you if we need.
like, I feel like we need to have a net that's like stretched out between two people.
I also just kind of put my hand on Yusuf's arm while we're standing there and just try to help him. He just seems like he needs it.
All right.
He seems the most focused you've seen him so far.
It's a little scary.
Yeah.
All right, Tazlin.
I am going to take a deep breath and center myself and just clear my mind. And I'm going to reach up and just gently cup the orb in both of my hands.
Sure. You feel that same icy coldness, and the white rushes you and obscures your vision for a little while, a little bit longer than you expect. And once it clears, you find your vision soaring through the night sky, above some roiling storm clouds. You are flying, and it feels nice at first. And then you hear it, the whoosh of flame and the whinny of a horse, although this whinny has a deep echo and a crackle to it that sounds otherworldly, but familiar. You don't see anything at first, and all you hear is the sound as it crescendos. And it's taking you back through memory to places you've been before and things you've experienced before that you wish, especially today, you could have forgotten. With a burst, 9 black knights atop flaming steeds emerge in a ghastly train. From your vantage, you can hear a sharp wail pierce the sky, shaking you to your very core. It's the sound. It's what you heard. You fly closer, the sound gets worse, and you hear and you see a thick sulfur trail each of these knights. Each knight also carries a flaming lance in one hand. That causes their gauntlet to glow bright red. The riders pay you no mind, except for one, who you realize has been staring at you the whole time. It points the lance in your direction, and the eyes behind the helm burst into flames. Through the piercing wail, you hear it scream with 1,000 voices, "A dare!"
Oh, God.
And you're kicked from your vision. Not nearly as hard.
Oh.
We're having like a total wild hunt
Yeah,
thing happening.
No shit, right?
Oh,
Yeah.
God. Just
Hey,
so everyone knows, like, I seriously have no idea what happened. Like, that is entirely the DM's discretion. So this is as much of an adventure as for you guys as this is for me.
hey. You okay?
Yeah. Yeah, actually, I am.
Okay.
Yeah. I'll be okay. Hey, Lisa,
Yeah?
if you're open to it and you really want to know something, this can be helpful.
I don't know much of anything, so it's going to be helpful. How do I keep it from throwing me across the room?
Well, just from my knowledge, just be open, clear your mind, and be open, because it's an energy. It's energy that comes to you, and if you are a hard barrier, you're gonna get thrown. But if you are something that accepts it and lets it dissipate, or even become part of it, you'll be okay.
I understand that. I can do that.
High five.
So I approach the orb and kind of step into like a nice, like a mabu, like a horse stance, whatever. And
Okay.
Just deep breath in, exhale, like I do for my meditations, and just place my hands on the orb.
Yeah, and you feel the icy cold, like everyone else, and the white rushes for you. And at first, nothing changes after you go all white. In time, it clears, and you notice a familiar furbolg and a tabaxi walking together side by side in the rain. Wally and Sundered Cloud talk in hushed tones as they walk, but the rain is too loud in your ear, and you can't hear what they're saying. A horse approaches in the distance, and they freeze. The horse is on fire. Atop it, you see a tiefling with horns that shoot straight up and then corkscrew. Her skin is dark, and her eyes are white. She closes the distance to the two monks, and you see smoke emanating from her armor. She dismounts, draws a great sword of pure red, and attacks. Immediately, the monks spring into action and move with a speed that you remember from your training. Time slows for you as you watch the two monks dodge each attack and land their blows on the woman, although she appears unaffected. You notice the tabaxi falter on a particularly slick patch of grass, and the tiefling take her opportunity. The great sword cleaves Sundered Cloud in two. Wally doesn't hesitate and slams each fist into the tiefling's back, pushing her forward 15 feet. She recovers and spins, swinging the great sword wild. It catches Wally in the side as he charges her, severing his right arm and completely lodging into his side. She immediately pulls the blade free, and you think your old mentor has died. Except you notice his hand at his chest glowing blue. A pulse of light snakes around his body and disappears into the wound. He gasps, having successfully clung to life. The tiefling stabs her sword into the ground and approaches. She grasps the furbolg by a thick mop of hair, yanks him into her face. You can't hear what she says, But you see her lips form and say, "Where's my Lisa?" The white starts to crowd around your vision before you're ejected. The last thing you see is her let Wally go and ride off in her steed.
I touch my hand to Lisa's shoulder.
Hey.
Is it okay? Are you okay?
Yes. I don't know. I think I saw my mom.
Yeah? Like the mother you knew?
I never knew a mother.
Right.
But she called me. She said I was her Lisa. She's looking for me.
What does she look like?
She's a tiefling. She's got a big red sword, black skin and white eyes. Pretty good with that sword. And she was at the Varoche Day.
Is this a mother that you want to find you?
I don't think so.
I just hug her gently from behind.
Does that description sound familiar to me?
The tiefling?
Yeah.
She was on a flaming horse.
No. Not in the sense that you're thinking.
Okay, good.
Yeah.
'Cause I've
She
seen
was
you-
on a flaming horse.
I've seen you naked way too many times for this Luke and Leia shit to happen.
Oh, fuck no.
No, not my mom, but yeah, one of the sisters. Okay, good. So
Cousin stuff is legal.
that's
No.
it's not
Do you describe what you see to everyone?
Yeah.
Okay, she
black
describes her
skin,
vision.
ram horns.
Is
The way her
fl-
stature, she describes it, and her fighting style, like nothing you've seen on your plane.
Okay, so it's not.
You're familiar, like it
Percival?
reminds you of Ernest, though.
Okay.
Is the flaming horse similar to like what I saw, or sounds different?
The same
Similar-
type of
okay.
horse, but a different
Okay.
situation. Yeah.
Okay.
I am. If this is literally legit, like Wild Hunt style shit, I am so excited. Like, that's terrible for my character, but I am excited.
Well,
Lisa, I remember you talking about a dream you had where you were fighting and there was someone looking on from a distance. Does this resemble that person?
I didn't see that person clear enough, but
Was their horse on fire?
it was so far away, but this felt familiar. I don't know. I don't have anything to go on but my Lisa, and I think,
Well, if she's not somebody that you want to find her, and I'm still hugging her from behind, and like I have my head on her shoulder, kind of thing, and chin like tucked in. Like, if she's not somebody that you want to find you, we'll protect you. We'll keep you hidden.
cool. She just tried to kill my family. What if she tries that with you guys?
well,
She can try.
I have a feeling. Well, I mean, and to that end, she's one of us. So my family's been negotiating with our kind for millennia. So
I don't really have a family. And she stops for a second. Most of my family is dead at this point.
Same. I just don't. This is weird.
yeah, well,
Yusuf, what did you see? I spilled.
I saw. I was in the clouds. I was above storms. I'm not sure if I was me, but I was flying, and I was above storms, and there was this sound, flames and a horse, and not your average horse.
A fire horse, perhaps?
Yep, that nailed it. There were 9 of them. 9 black knights on flaming horses.
Sorry, real quick. What were they flaming horses or were their hooves on fire?
They were flaming horses.
Okay.
And they left like a trail of sulfur in their wake. They all carried lances, And there was one writer that saw me. And he saw me. And he called out a dare. I'm not sure if that's what decimated it and killed everyone. But at least I have something to search for now.
You saw what you needed to see.
Exactly. It shows you what you most need to see.
Yusuf.
And this shit is personal, so
Yeah.
please, if you don't want to share from the amount that
But also, Feder literally just gave us his whole family history to door.
Sorry, my family built a goddamn death tower that cracked half a continent, so I'm rather in the mood to hear what you saw, Yusuf.
The gnomes that took me in when I came here have been decimated. If this thing shows you the truth. It looks like Sky Point found its way through the wards, attacked, killed the leader of the town, and is now hauling them off for slavery.
Tassin kind of like looks at Yusuf and just gives him like a knowing, I get you kind of look. And then says, this may not show us exactly what's happening now. It could show us the past. It could show us the future.
If
Or
it's
it
the
could show
past,
us
it's
now.
not distant past. And if it's the future,
I do hope that they didn't experience that and it's something that we can stop. Because I don't wish that feeling on anybody.
someone saw me too. So, if what you saw was happening in present time, I think it's happening in present time. There's a man clad in black, hairless with a milky white eye.
But hers might have been from the past.
The thing about these is that they're tricky. They can project you into the past, and things that have magical ability can see you. They can see that tether. So it could be, it could have been.
I'm going to give a quick insight into just the situation of the knowledge arcana if I feel like with the insight roll, if that's indeed what it was.
Sure.
Just try to figure out if it's real time or not. Insight is a 16.
So finicky, I'd be surprised.
Knowledge arcana is a 6.
What she's saying tracks. As far as you know, these things are a little bit trickier, but also this whole place has a tricky vibe to it as well. So you're dealing with two layers of trickiness that you just can't account for necessarily. So if it happened in the past, it could be that past is like recent, or maybe it's happened a while ago, or
Like when we were in the mountain.
where you're in the mountain. There are tracks of time you've lost like that. And what's to say here where you are isn't in some way lost. Everything is so weird. For now, all you can really go on is what you saw. And that direct connection felt so present.
It's totally kind of like the, like looking through a mirror at somebody. And this is not in character, but it's like looking through a mirror at somebody, and somebody who is powerful enough in the arts can see you back.
It's the mirror of
like,
it's
yeah.
Galadriel.
Yeah.
Exactly.
We just
Exactly.
saw the scouring of the Shire
Yeah.
That's exactly what it is.
and the ring rays. Like,
Well, Squirrel, would
You-
only be fair.
You look over and she already has her hands on it, and her eyes are milky white, and she's just there. Nothing changing for now.
Bracing to catch.
I
Oddly
mean,
enough,
if she heard me like explaining it to Lisa, she probably.
yeah, you're not entirely sure when in your conversation she went over there and checked it out, but at a certain point she lowers her hands, her eyes go from white back to normal, and just looks at you all.
I want to do an insight on her just to see if
What'd you?
her
swear?
demeanor has changed.
What'd you
She's
see?
she's sobered up.
She's in. Yeah.
What'd you see? I'm still like hanging on to Lisa from behind. What'd you see?
It's She seems at a loss. You all mentioned that it was related to you in some way. That your visions were. And I figured, I wonder what I would see of my own life or family, but I didn't see anything of mine. I saw you guys in a mountain, shackled to a device. But then I saw 4 others shackled to this device.
Oh, snap. Oh, fuck.
And that's all I saw.
Wait, shackled to, as in the tower, or this device here in front of
This building, this place, this tower, not necessarily this floor. I saw things unrelated to me, but
you? Hold that thought. Everyone back to the lift.
Yeah.
So, as we're moving, I'm like, it shows you what you most need to see. It might not be related to you. It just shows you what you most need to see.
We've got to go.
okay, she walks with you guys slowly at first, but then catches up pretty quick as you get to the center of the platform.
What'd the 4 people look like?
Hit 6.
Weapons out.
Oh, fuck. I think I know. I think I know what happened.
You go up, the lift goes,
happened.
hit the last button on the console, and at first nothing happens. Eventually you hear click, 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 grind, whir, and the platform shoots up, a little bit noisier than before, stopping, and it takes you about, this time 15 minutes as it zips up, but then it slows and stops just as you see the hole above, about maybe 5 foot shy of the next floor. The platform makes a grinding sound and tries to complete its journey, but can't and stops after a few attempts. It just stays there. You're about 5 feet from how you're standing on the platform. You've got about less than 5 feet of clearance above you, and you could climb up it without any effort at all.
Yusuf, up.
Yeah, Yusuf, give me a boost. I'm up.
So who's the first?
Me first.
Okay,
100%.
Oh, gee, thanks.
And I'm going to try to acrobat my way.
Yeah, I was
to
gonna
the
say
room.
I'm not gonna need Yusuf to give me a boost if it's only 5
right.
feet up.
Yeah, Feder.
You're fine. Athletics of a 15. Like I basically, you run.
Do I need to do an athletics
And,
check?
uh,
for mine?
No.
22 acrobatics.
Sure, yeah.
To come up and...
So Feder, you go up first, and when you emerge onto the next level, you're greeted with the sight of 4 charred tieflings strapped to 4 corners of this elevated platform that you're in the center of. The column that your lift has been attached to tapers off about 20 feet up in the air above you and crackles with an electrical energy. A gust of wind strains your balance, and it's only then that you realize that this whole floor is the roof of the tower, and that there's nothing but good old sky above. And Lisa, you arrive after him and see the same thing. Except this sky up here is not very good. A storm above rages and the clouds roil in terror. You see flashes of light and hear crashes of thunder.
I'm running for a corner.
Okay. You check it out, and
I'm going to the middle.
Yep.
you guys are coming up from the middle.
Yeah.
So
Oh, wait,
So, like, hole in the middle,
Tower, post, hole in the middle.
and that's
Yeah.
the lift.
and then 4 corners.
Yeah. Okay,
Yeah.
I'm going for a corner then too.
Yeah, you check out the tiefling, and they are not nearly as composed as like before. Feder, the picture you have of the 4 faces,
Yeah.
it tracks. It's those 4 faces.
Oh, damn it.
The daughters?
Yep.
Yeah. What state are they in?
They're charred.
They're dead. They're
Just-
charred, rotted, but not completely sloughed away. You can still see it.
Is there, like, do I get a sense that they're still connected to it?
They're still connected to the device. To the device. Their hands are in the shackles, and their bodies are stuck in a pulling away pose, like as if they were trying to yank against it to try and get out.
Okay. I'm
Is it like,
I'm going for the shackles on
Sure,
the one in
they're-
front of me.
is it like hard to hear? Do we have to yell from all the like
Wind and
storm?
stuff.
Yeah, you
Wind
have
and
to
stuff.
raise your voice a bit. It's not bad, but you sense that the weather is getting a bit worse.
I just kind of, guys, I think this is what was supposed to happen in the mountain.
17, I finally get myself up over the lip.
And you see the horrible view, the 4 bodies strapped in. You see the success of what should have happened, like you said, at the mountain.
And I'm just like, I'm trying to gather the body and move it back towards the center.
Yeah.
And then, like, I'm going to the next one and I'm going to the next one. Like, I'm just like,
Yeah.
Get them out. Get them out.
Yeah, I've gone
Yeah.
to one and I'm pulling them up too.
I get the body that I'm
Yeah.
standing near. I'm gonna try and get it out, but
The restraints aren't nearly as strong as they used to be.
while I do that though, the machine, like, where was their blood going? Because ours, like, there was a middle to the altar. That's where we found the clockwork thing.
You see the lines trail down from like the corners, the lines where those would be. These are etched in the bronze, but they go down past like where the lift is. Like they go down in, and they seem to just trail down. So you don't know if they just keep trailing a path over the floor, but they seem connected to this tower and
So
overall.
this whole tower is essentially the altar, and
yeah.
it's amplifying everything that
It was retrofitted to become this.
exactly. And like, I'll explain this again in character, but if I have a feeling that we happened at the same time this happened,
This happened 100 years ago.
hundreds of years. Oh,
Yeah,
damn
the
it! I was gonna
cracking
be
of
like,
the-
if it like tethered and there's probably
No, someone
like
tried
two
to
others.
do this in the north.
This was a failure, though.
No.
No, this was
This
a
was a
success.
success.
Then
were
why
a
was
failure.
your aunt punished? It wasn't right. Her notes made it seem like it wasn't right.
But we're
I have a feeling, and there's only one person that knows. Well, maybe several, but she built the machine, and the cages. Not proud to say, but our view of
Because nothing got better for your family like she thought it would.
immortal life is a little bit more tenuous. And I think she built those 4 chairs, and I don't think it ever crossed her mind who would have to eventually sit in them.
But what if? And
And I
we're all
think-
kind of like yelling at each other.
Yeah.
But what if this wasn't her? What if the decimation of the swamp was her, but this was whoever did it to us?
She was working with the same cultists. And these all have the same blood.
Yeah.
They're cousins. Yours are your cousins. Like, they're...
Which is maybe why I was part of.
10 medicine check. How long have these bodies been here? Because we've only been out of the mountain for what, like 3 weeks?
No, it's not even that.
It's like 2.5.
Are they deteriorated?
10-day and a half,
like
yeah.
way past a month,
No,
or
we'd
is
be
it?
at,
No,
Their
we'd be
bodies,
at 12 or 13 now because of the travel through the
well,
swamp.
we're on.
their
yeah,
bodies
it's the
only
13th
look,
day, and we started on.
yeah, their bodies only look decayed about a month or so, not nearly as long as 100 years. But it's like it doesn't look.
Wait, so you're saying that
But they...
the swamp and what happened with us are 2 separate events?
Yes.
Yeah, like what if all the horribleness that was of floor 4 was Fetter's aunt, and that was the swamp. But this
was something else.
was something else.
These girls...
Wait a minute.
But she wrote about these girls. They would be over 100 years old. Are these, like, young
I've-
people?
Never heard of these 4 women until today.
So, in the elevator, to get up to the 5th floor, it took us about 10 minutes, and to get from the 5th to the 6th floor was about 15.
Yeah,
So, we're about as high in the air as Greece Norval is, if we were in the top of the peak.
you could generally say that. Yeah, elevation wise, it feels about right.
But that's what I'm saying. If this happened at the same time,
No, I understand what you're saying.
and what if there are 2 others?
Other towers like this,
We
or other
have-
places like this.
North, south, east, west. What if they're like they could decimate the world if they had turned on all of them?
Right.
Yusuf, are you sure? Are you sure these bodies have only been here a month?
It doesn't look like it's been much more than that.
I'm
Squirrel-
gonna roll-
Squirrel
I'm
chimes in.
gonna
Squirrel
roll
chimes
a
in.
medicine too and just double. And
Sure.
Yeah, I'm going to assist you.
Yeah, while you're doing that, Squirrel chimes in. The bodies that were in that room on the 4th floor, they also didn't seem much older than a few months either.
Nor did
But-
that Eladrin. I played with her.
But she gives you a long look before continuing.
I got a 22 on medicine.
22? Yeah, it's the same thing that Yusuf discovered, like, they don't seem like much more than 2 months decayed at most. Scoil continues. But this thing, the Shattered Lands, it's 100 years old. Whatever destroyed this area happened 100 years ago.
The retrofitting
now,
of this tower happened 100 years ago.
Yeah, I mean,
Well, no, the retrofitting could have been recent. It's whatever turned the swamp into the swamp.
No,
because she saw the...
Oh, yeah, that's right.
She saw... Who is it? Fuck. What's her name?
Galatha.
Galatha.
Yeah.
She saw Galatha. Galatha said she was here about that long ago, yeah?
yeah.
She was here at the break.
Scoil doesn't know,
I mean,
I guess.
Galatha was here right before the breaking. She said so.
I think this is a first attempt. Time is weird in this place.
I genuinely think they attempted to do this around the world. It would have turned everything into a wasteland if they had succeeded. We don't even know. There could be more even further to the south and to the I can read a compass to the west. And they could be as successful as this is, and we were the only failure.
My aunt's been mad for at least the last 21 years. I have no clue who these women are or what their lives have been, except for this scrap of paper. I can't imagine them being taken at the same time that I was. It doesn't seem right. It doesn't...
We already know time has been messed with, minds have been messed with. We lost a month. Maybe more.
I don't know, I just don't know. Will you help me get them out of here? I've got at least...
Yeah, sure. Scoil chimes in. Yeah, I can help.
How do we gotta...
I jumped down in the elevator shaft.
And we'll hand them... But what are the rift? What are the breaking? How do we... can we stop it? Can we close it?
I got again, I can do math. I got a 13 on Arcana to see if, like, I can figure out any way to maybe, quote unquote, turn it off and get the storm and everything to just stop.
Okay. Yeah, you don't see any other buttons, machines, mechanisms other than just the altar.
Fudge.
And as you guys start taking the bodies of the 4 tiefling down, Feder, your pocket with the book, or your journal, warms a bit.
Dun dun dun.
I pull it out and take a look.
In hurriedly written scratch, you see written, "Baby dear, beware. They know. That's it. Taslin, you're helping with the third body. You hear a noise, a shrieking.
Oh crap, oh crap, oh crap.
And a howling as the sky starts to roil even more. Lightning crashes, thunder pounds, and a couple things happen at once.
Oh crap, oh crap.
You hear the high-pitched shriek, and above you see 9 black knights atop flaming steeds emerge from the rolling clouds.
Oh my god!
And surround the top of the tower.
Oh my god!
Taslin, the one from your vision, looks directly at you, points his hellfire lance in your direction, and shrieks, "Adair!" They advance, but you hear something else, another noise. First a low hum, that crescendos to a loud drone. A massive flying galleon bursts through the cloud cover and begins to open fire on the knights. Feder, you recognize immediately and feel your heart soar.
Oh my god!
Hanging from the edge of the vessel with a javelin in his hand is Drago. In the tumult, you can hear him shout, and a host of other voices in the flying vessel respond in kind. Your heads shriek in pain, and you see a tear form across the top of the tower, and everything goes to shit.
And that is where I end the story for today. You suck. Aw, don't be so cross, it's just a cliffhanger. I'll be back very soon to tell you everything that happens next. Trust me, it's one hell of a story, and I love telling stories. Anyway, make sure you've got more of that sweet, sweet ale handy, and I'll return with more adventures from these Demon Days.
across the top of the tower, and everything goes to shit. And that's where we're gonna stop for.
No! No! Absolutely not! No! You cannot. We are not going to wait a goddamn month to deal with this.
I mean, it's 10 o'clock. It's school night. John, how long is it going to take me to tune to this sword?
Yeah, right? Like, I want my son. I want to be Thor.
It'll take a while. This is gonna be chaotic.
Oh, God. Assuming you'll even live to use the sword.
Right?
Nah, Daddy's here. It's all fine. Holy shit. God damn it.
Is any of this real, though? Like, that's the other thing. Yeah, like, we can... I mean, part of me is, like, rad, but then the other part of me is, like, I cannot be solving my backstory this quickly.
Well, who's to say? Who's to say? Let's see.
No, nobody's getting... None of this is getting solved.
Oh, I hope my mom doesn't show up. She seems like she sucks.
I feel like I wonder if this is gonna be like one of the Square Enix like cutscenes where like shit happens and it's like wah, and then it just like moves on and you're just like, oh, that's what I'm gonna have to deal with later.
We start the next session. You wake up in a white room. Oh no! All right.
God damn it!
Okay, so Keo Gotham's ointment. What the fuck is that?
It's a healing ointment.
It's a healing ointment.
Neat. Who got that?
I'm shutting the audio down.
That's in the...